How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast back with another video. And this is us talking about episode 3 of the Onision in real life documentary. Now, I want to say right off the bat is that as soon as I was done watching that episode, I immediately wanted to just get this video done and over with. Especially with some of the things that have been said by the disingenuous Chris Hansen, trying to blame the commentary community for the relevance of Onision. Yeah, again, Chris Hansen, you want to throw shade at the commentary community about, people who are concerned about this topic, about the whole situation, like keeping him relevant. Guess what? If he wasn't relevant, again, you wouldn't even have a story or, a reason to do this documentary. In fact, more likely, you, as well as many other people in the mainstream media, would have left this alone. And the behavior would still continue. Leaving, again, only the commentary community to be the only ones to talk about it. I'm sorry. I'm still a little bit peeved about that. So, without further delay, because again, I want to get this fucking over with, why don't we go ahead and talk about the Onision documentary, and this being episode 3. Oh, actually, if I may add one more thing, because from what I've heard, apparently a lot of people have been canceling, at least the people that were coming to watch, or go and subscribe to Discovery Plus to watch the documentary. I said this in the podcast, and I'll say it again. For those who want to know anything about the documentary, you're better off just watching videos from, the commentary community that give their opinions, their concern about what's going on. Because they have a better way, or pretty much they have a better opinion when it comes down to the documentary and what it details. So, without further delay, again, I'm sorry, let's go ahead and discuss this, because boy, I made a few notes. So the documentary starts off with Ed Troyer, which is the sheriff of Pierce County, talking about numerous calls about Onision and the claims of a investigation, which is something that keeps being brought up, is the investigation. The investigation's ongoing. There are some of the victims that are claiming that they're going to take legal action, which, again, until something actually happens, no offense to anybody, but until something actually happens, I'm not going to believe that there's an actual investigation going on. I'm sorry. Then after that, after Ed Troyer, Chris Hansen then talks about the behaviors and makes a remark about that Chris is finally catching up to him, or at least catching up to his behavior, or everything that's going on is catching up to his behavior. I don't get this remark, especially with, again, people already had an understanding of his behavior way before Chris Hansen got involved, so I don't get that. They make a remark, again, that the investigation's ongoing. Mention how the behaviors are kind of like cult status. Edwin talks about the content, commenting that it's always, or at least Onision's content, commenting on it's always been toxic, but now we are seeing it in a more personal way, especially with testimonies from the victims. As much as I appreciate some of the things that Edwin says in these documentaries, one thing's for sure is I hate to shit on Edwin, but I kind of feel like, especially with people who've already suffered abuse or have had family suffer abuse, it's already personal with them, with what Greg Onision has been doing. So I think in some way it's already been personal the entire time when he's displayed public abuse on his videos. After that, talks about the Blair White Sarah interview, which, by the way, with a lot of the victims, including Sarah, they blurred out her face and just classify her as Regina's friend. Chris Hansen, after that, talks about Blair White's interview, as well as the victims of Greg. Some of them who didn't want to be a part of the documentary, and also were blurred out. Mostly, so not Greg, but Chris Hansen can have that extra content. It goes over some of the behaviors that Greg displayed, threatening to shave girls' heads, either dyeing their hair, removing themselves from their families, as well as manipulation into sex. In the documentary, it introduces somebody by the name of Magi Maybe, hopefully I said that name correctly, who is an attorney in Marsh law firm, who describes Greg's behavior as being dangerous. They showcase the victims, as well as talk about Onision and the people, or at least the people wanting Greg to be deplatformed. They mention Greg's website, which has been a point of topic numerous amount of times, especially with the fact that a lot of people who are underage come and go through it. People posting pictures of themselves, which those pictures are then showcased in Onision's videos. That being, the fat, curvy, or skinny, or the rate my age, rate my body, the variety of creepy videos that Greg has posted about rating people. They make a mention about the anti-O community, the community that is against Onision and his behaviors. Chris Hansen makes a little bit of a remark that kind of irritates me, especially when I feel like it's not true in this case, where after they talk about the anti-O, he makes a remark that the victims come first, which in reality, no offense to anybody, but if the victims came first, then honestly, you should have respected their wishes and not have them showcased. Sure, you blurred out their names, but at the same time, they didn't want their stories being told. And unfortunately, you went against their wishes and still used them for this documentary. Ed Troyer makes a remark that having Chris Hansen involved has added more legitimacy to the investigation, which really fucking irritates me, especially with the fact that it's like all of a sudden Chris Hansen made everything legit. That doesn't make any sense at all, none whatsoever. Just because you had the guy from To Catch a Predator show up and do a 3-episode documentary, or do live streams, it's like there's a lot more people that have done videos on this behavior, and nothing has been done about it. You've had people calling that residence, and nothing has been done about it. So I don't believe this crap that Chris Hansen made everything legitimate. That doesn't. It just. That just frustrates me. It really does. Because so you guys didn't show any care, or if anything, didn't take it seriously when it comes down to what was going on. If anything, the only reason you want to claim it's legitimate now is due to the fact that Chris Hansen more than likely giving you guys publicity for the fact that this may end up getting you guys some I'm sorry. It's just it's fucking stupid to make a remark like that. It really is. Anyways, he makes that remark. Edwin then gives his piece about Chris Hansen being involved. Makes a quick remark that Chris Hansen bit more than he can chew. It showcases Chris Hansen going to Onision's house and the 911 call that Onision made. In the doc, it brings up the hype for Chris Hansen. It also brings up Chris Hansen's disrespect for the platform. I mean, for just a small smidge of like time, but I think there should have been more showcased about his disrespect to the platform. A claim is made that there was resentment because Chris Hansen is a non-YouTuber and wanted to take the story to the next level. Okay, first off, I have something to say about that, because we've had celebrities who more likely are not YouTubers or weren't YouTubers that came on and again still showed respect to the platform. Hell, probably a lot of everybody's favorite, Jack Black, who does, a few gaming videos. He's at first didn't start off as a YouTuber, but decided to be part of the platform. And this whole thing about taking it to the next level. I'm sorry, no, how exactly is it to the next level when, again, because we stated this, we talked about it in our podcast, how is it the next level when you're only including it into Discovery Plus, where you have to pay for it, and it's not brought into any other form of streaming media or the mainstream media? It's only pushed into one segment. How is that taking it to the next level? If anything, the only people that are more likely going to watch this are the people that have been following this story already. So it's not even getting a new audience, but rather it's only keeping the same audience that it has, if not less so. Because a lot of people aren't going to want to pay $7 just so they can watch a 3-part series. Continuing on, though, there's a claim made that whenever people mention him, it's only for clicks. Yeah, Chris Hansen wishes that. I mean, look at me. with a lot of my videos, I barely make past, I would say for a lot of them, past, 20, 30 views. And yeah, I'm still giving my points about some of the bullshit that's going on. Why? Because I fucking care. Edwin then remarks on how Chris Hansen intentionally exploits the victims, which, again, noting on the fact that Chris Hansen used the story of the victims that didn't want to be a part of this. I think that would be a good, good example of the exploitation of the victims. They talk about who makes money on content when it comes down to, I guess, the videos. And I think, and this is the thing that irks me, or at least it's weird, because Chris Hansen was trying to throw shade at the commentary community for making money off their videos, which honestly, no offense, but it's like, so what? So fucking what? Especially since, again, Chris, you're making how much money for people clicking and subscribing to Discovery Plus to watch your 3-part documentary? You remarking on who makes money on what is ridiculous and hypocritical. After that, they talk about all of the, or at least showcase a few of the 911 calls released from Pierce County in regards to Greg and his behavior. The attorney, Maggie, then makes a remark about if Onision's charged, it may be on, it won't be all at once, but on several different things. There's a remark on people monetizing on emotional pain, which unfortunately that's something that Greg's been doing. And I will say near the end, because after this, what I'm going to talk about, they just go on to kind of doing the final words. They actually bring up the ultimate question: why YouTube doesn't ban Onision. And this has been something that has been discussed, and as well as been a huge question for a lot of people. And they bring up the obvious answer. Just like how a lot of other content creators who have done a lot of the same shit have not been banned, it's because they make money. Or they make money for YouTube. People like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, a variety of other YouTubers who are big, that do very heinous shit and make money, basically are untouchable when it comes to YouTube. So ultimately, it's trying to I guess for YouTube, or at least finding a true reason for them to immediately just remove Greg. All right. So that was episode 3 of this documentary, or at least give in my quick thoughts. 50 minutes and what? 18, close to 18 minutes. This was, I'm going to say this was hard to sit through, especially after the podcast that I had to do with the group, us talking about the things that Chris Hansen said, because it's infuriating. It really is, especially with the quality of this documentary, I guess the slide way to try to push the guilt, or some of the guilt, on the commentary community as to why this hasn't gone through earlier. It's revolting. It really is. So that again, this is my thoughts on the documentary. Hopefully you guys, I know some people won't enjoy it, but hopefully you guys, instead of going to, just subscribing to freaking the Discovery Plus, hopefully you guys will go to somebody else who talks about the documentary. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links in the description down below. As well as check out our Discord, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one, and take care. Peace. 2, 3, 5.